You know who it is. Keep pounding. You got to keep pounding after a day like today. Hats off to the Packers. I still hate their fans. But when your team gets absolutely whipped like Carolina did, I mean, they got reason to gloat. So go ahead and gloat. Enjoy the win. Well deserved. You kicked our fannies today. I mean, there's not much else you can say. Um, well, like I said in my last video, this Panthers defense will not be fixed this season. It's just not going to happen. They're going to have to draft another defensive end. I don't know what they got to do, but it's just going to be a constant theme. I'm not going to talk too much about the game today because there's really not much to talk about. Again, the defense is awful. The offense was awful. I'm just going to more talk about what I think, and this is just my opinion. I could be wrong about some of the things I'm going to say, but just in my opinion, here are some things that the Panthers need to do. Ron Rivera and John Lynch made an outstanding point. I agreed 100% with what he said. Ron Rivera needs to realize that his defense just ain't there this year. And when you win the coin toss, you need to put the ball in the hands of Cam Newton to start off the game because he's your best player. He's your, Luke Kuechly is, I still think he's the best middle linebacker in the NFL. His game speaks to that. His tackle numbers speak to that. This defense, the way that it is performing, is not anything to do with Luke Kuechly. When your safeties can't tackle, and your corners can't tackle, and you're getting pushed around on that offensive line by the opposing team's offensive line, now what is he going to do? There's only so much that he can do. He can't play all positions at all times. He's not Jesus. All right, he's not omnipresent, where he's everywhere. Okay, he is the middle linebacker, and he can only do what his assignment is. It's up to everybody else to do their job, and they ain't doing it. They're probably not going to do it the rest of the season. Thomas Davis had a good game as well. Those are the only two positives to take from this game. But here's the move that must happen. And it's not going to fix the defense. The defense is not going to be fixed this year unless they get their act together, which they're not. It's week 8 next week. They played 7 games. This defense is middle of the road at best. You saw what they look like at their worst. It's a bad defense, collectively. Charles Johnson, he's going to have to take a pay cut. But he has no reason to, which is why that contract is so ridiculous. We are still paying for the sins of Marty Hurney. We can't get rid of him. He has no incentive to take a pay cut. Because if we cut him, we have to pay him that guaranteed money. So we're on the hook. The Panthers are on the hook with him for the next 2 or 3 seasons. So, I mean, I wouldn't give up that money. I mean, I'm not blasting Charles Johnson if he doesn't do it. I wouldn't do it. He signed that contract. That's what the Panthers promised him that they would pay him. I wouldn't turn it down. I wouldn't take a pay cut if there's no incentive to do so. They're not going to release him in the open market. So, and he's not going to perform his contract. So, but the move that has to happen, Roman Harper needs to be benched. He's slow. He's not tackling. Maybe, he's a good safety in run support. Maybe put him in running situations. I don't know. But he can't cover. I mean, he's too slow. Bench Roman Harper. Maybe not even bench him. Kind of do like what they did with Quentin Michael last year, where he played like half the snaps, I think. But do something. He can't play every down. What my recommendation for Ron Rivera to do is put Charles Godfrey back at the safety position. Free safety, strong safety. You got to do something because the Roman Harper experiment is a colossal failure. And like I said, that's not going to fix the defense. Not by any stretch of the imagination. But you've got to do something because what's working now, or what you're doing now ain't working. So that's the first thing I would do. Send a message again like you benched Melvin White for Josh Norman. Bench Roman Harper. Move Godfrey back to the safety position. Because Godfrey was always a decent safety. He was never an all-pro safety. But he was always decent. That's the first thing you got to do. Second thing, again, if you win the coin toss, stop giving the other team the ball first. The defense is going to give up at least a field goal, if not a touchdown. Put the ball in Cam Newton's hands, just like against Cincinnati when they got the ball first, went straight down the field and scored a touchdown. That gives you confidence, gives your defense a lead to protect. Take pressure off that defense. Stop deferring to the second half. It's not the same defense. Put the ball in Cam Newton's hands. And also, they need to open up the playbook. No more of this. Let's establish a running game. You establish a run game when you've got a solid defense. The Panthers don't have that. You got to open up that playbook. And you know what? I can't be too super upset. I mean, I'm mad about the way they played today. But I can't be super upset because the Falcons lost and the Saints lost. And the Panthers, as bad as they've been in 3-4 games this year, are still in first place. That's crazy. We're in first place. There is so much to play for still. So the fact that they've given up 35 plus points in 4 games this year, and you're in first place, I mean, there's something to play for. But you can't tank the season. Ron Rivera last year, he won the Coach of the Year last year. Because he went against his conservative ways, started going for it on 4th down, and the Panthers went on a run. It's time to do it again. Open up the playbook. Say, give the ball. One of the things that the Panthers did that was really successful against the Bears was that no huddle. Maybe run some of that. But you've got to do something different because the way it's shaping up to be now, the Panthers have to score at least 28 points, 30 points to win. Because the defense is just going to give up. It's just not the same defense. I don't want to be mad at the defense because they're my team. But they're not playing Panther football. They haven't played it since week 2. So I would say if I'm Mike Shula, if I'm Ron Rivera, that what we're doing now, our defense, we've got to, last year, the Panthers defense won so many games for this team. It's time for the offense to return the favor this year. Defense is struggling. Run the no huddle. Shotgun, no huddle. Say, Cam Newton, the ball's in your hands. Go win us the football game. That's what they got to do. It's your boy Brian Cotton. I'm going to try to keep pounding. Got the Seahawks next week. 2 underwhelming teams so far. Seattle's not a good road team, but they're pissed off. And I hope that the Panthers are pissed off. Because they're going to need to be. They need to play with some fire and some emotion this weekend. I'm out. Keep pounding. Y'all try to have a good day.